Hi, thank you so much for watching Chitteruba Yoga and Fitness. I'm Laura Wilson, and I teach you ways to modify exercises so that everybody can keep moving. Today, special treat for you, Shavasana. So Shavasana, or corpse pose, is usually what we use for our final relaxation at the end of every class. And while the traditional means of doing it can be a little uncomfortable, there are some ways that we can modify our final relaxation pose to make it something that we can be in for several minutes without getting too antsy or sore from the floor. So I'm going to recommend for today's work, a pillow, blanket, towels, a thicker mat perhaps, whatever you can conceivably take with you to a studio when you work out. All right, so go ahead and grab a few of those props. You never know what might come in handy. There are little travel pillows that you can get. I've had some people bring to classes. So while you're getting ready, also make sure to give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment below and let me know your favorite way to modify, or what your favorite prop for modifying Shavasana is. So the goal of Shavasana, and at the end of the video, we're also going to have a little bit of pranayama. Once we've found our sweet spot in Shavasana, we're going to look at a very relaxing breathing technique as well. So let's go ahead. We'll find ourselves on the floor. If you've got that mat, use a mat. And let's just look at the basic Shavasana to begin with. So traditionally, we would be on the floor, legs separated a little bit, rolling our shoulder blades under, palms turned up in a gesture of release. But depending on how our shoulders feel, we might prefer to bring our hands in toward our belly. Now in this position, try it this way first. See how this feels. A lot of us would prefer to have some support at our neck, so a pillow is always nice. But we can also bring that pillow in to place underneath our knees. Or we could take a blanket or something to place underneath our knees. So that takes a little bit of pressure off of our lower back. Another variation is without a blanket or anything, to lift our knees, letting them roll together, separating our feet just a little bit more. Same thing with our arms. We can put them wherever. I usually choose to have them a little higher like this, out to my sides, and I have seen other people do it this way too. So knees can be up, they can be supported. A lot of people, depending on where you take yoga classes, it can be a studio that also has other fitness classes, and the instructor may not be able to adjust the heat. So another variation is to bring a blanket to put over top of you during this time. But these are some variations for those of you who are okay being on your back. Now let's say that that isn't your favorite position. Some people can roll over to their side. You want to keep your knees bent. If you have a pillow, that is a great asset right there, resting our other arm here. But if we don't have a pillow with us that day, we can actually just take this arm straight out and let it serve as a pillow. That way we keep our spine, our neck level, and it's not totally out of contortion here. So we always want to have something supporting our neck. We can also take a pillow or a block or something to place between our knees. So lots of different ways we can use props for our final relaxation. And even though traditionally Shavasana or corpse pose is what we would relax in, some people find Crocodile Pose, or rolling over onto our belly, stacking our arms and placing our head on our top arm, is also a variation that we can take. So try each of these. Hopefully you've been trying them with me. Find what works for you. So again, we can stay in our crocodile pose right here. This is perfect for the breathing technique that we're about to do. But being on our side with any variation of our props works as well. I'm going to go ahead and roll into a more traditional variation with that pillow since I've got it. And I'm going to go ahead and place this back underneath my knees. So this is a very nice variation, if I can get it set up right, that allows our body to completely relax without so much pressure on our low back or any part of our spine, the lower back or the cervical spine. So again, traditionally palms up and a gesture of release. And then once we've played around with these props, played around with these positions, and we find that place that we want to take Shavasana today, let's go ahead and close our eyes. And let's just begin to let our body relax. So we traditionally start at the feet, allowing our feet and our legs to release, usually allowing our feet to roll open, toes away from each other, feeling our legs sink into the floor. And then we feel our spine, our whole back, supported by the floor. And we definitely want to soften our belly today and our chest. And for now, just breathing normally. Releasing our arms. Our goal in Shavasana is complete stillness. It's called corpse pose for a reason. And then we want to make sure that we relax the muscles of our neck and shoulders. They tend to get very tense during the day. Allow that to go. And we also want to make sure we've got some space in our jaw and we're softening our face. So in our stillness, let's bring our awareness to our breath. And we're going to begin to breathe just into our belly. So feel it rise with our inhales and sink with our exhales. Allowing our ribs and our chest to relax. As much as possible, we want to breathe through our nose, although sinus conditions may make that tough. That is one thing to consider if you want to roll to your side. If one nostril is blocked, roll to the opposite side and allow gravity to pull that congestion out of that side. And just continue those deep breaths just into our belly. Belly breathing is the most relaxing breath known to the human body. So it's good to practice. If we ever get tense, we want to be able to breathe into our belly, allowing our shoulders and neck to relax. And that calming gesture helps calm our body. It will calm our mind. So feel free to hit pause and continue to hang out here. We're going to continue to talk about how to come out of our Shavasana. The longer you stay here in Shavasana, the longer you want to take to come out of it. And no matter how short a period of time you may stay here during a class, we want to avoid that inclination to just pop right up and sit. So the longer our body has been still, again, the longer that we want to take to come out. We want to begin out at our fingers and toes with our movement. And then we want to start to bring that movement up our arms and legs. And then when we're ready, we can take that movement to other parts of our body, even hugging our knees. And if we were on our back or on our belly, we want to hug our knees and take it to our side. So again, arm underneath our head or head on a pillow. And I recommend staying here at least 3 breaths if it's been a short Shavasana at the end of a class. 5 breaths or more if you stayed there for 5 minutes or more. Pretty much 1 breath per minute that you stayed in Shavasana. So if you stay here for 10 minutes, take at least 10 breaths. I think we've had time for about 5 now. And then we want to use our top arm and we want to leverage that top leg to push ourselves up and let that leg kind of pull us, bringing ourselves up to that seated position. And take a few moments here. Let's stay with that belly breath to allow our blood and our body to reorient before we get ourselves up to standing. And again, take your time getting up. Thank you for joining me for this. Let me know in the comments if you found a new way to do Shavasana to make it more comfortable for you to stay there for a little bit longer. Let me know if you did stay there for a little bit longer. And I look forward to seeing you next time.